After nearly 2 decades, I Am Legend is finally moving forward with a major new update. The long-awaited sequel, I Am Legend 2, has officially found its director, and fans are already getting excited. According to an exclusive report from Collider, filmmaker Stephen Caple Jr. has been chosen to direct the sequel. Caple is best known for directing Creed II and Transformers: Rise of the Beasts, making him a strong pick for this action-packed post-apocalyptic world. The sequel was first announced back in 2022, with Will Smith set to return as Robert Neville and Michael B. Jordan joining the cast in a major role. The script is being written by returning writer Akiva Goldsman. Interestingly, the new movie will follow the alternate ending of the original film, where Neville survives instead of the theatrical ending where he dies. Right now, there's still no official release date, but this is one of the biggest signs yet that the sequel is finally happening. With the new director locked in and major stars attached, I Am Legend 2 is officially becoming real. Gotham is getting even darker, and The Batman Part 2 may just have added one of its most intimidating new faces yet. Charles Dance, the legendary actor best known for playing Tywin Lannister in Game of Thrones, is reportedly joining the cast of the highly anticipated DC sequel. According to an exclusive report from Deadline, Dance is in talks to play Christopher Dent, the father of Gotham's future district attorney, Harvey Dent, better known to comic fans as the villain Two-Face. The DC Comics, Christopher Dent is portrayed often as an abusive and alcoholic and a dark influence that helps shape Harvey's tragic transformation. If this role makes it into the final script, Matt Reeves could be diving even deeper into the psychological side of Gotham. The Batman Part 2 will once again star Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne, with Matt Reeves returning to direct. Reports also say Sebastian Stan is set to play Harvey Dent, which means the Dent family storyline may become a major focus of this sequel. The movie has faced several delays while Reeves worked on the script, but production is now expected to begin around late May or June 2026. Warner Bros. Currently has the film scheduled for release on October 1st, 2027. Nothing is officially confirmed by Warner Bros. Yet, but if Dance signs on, Gotham may be getting a chilling new villain before Harvey Dent ever becomes Two-Face. The lands between are officially heading to the big screen. After months of speculation, the live-action Elden Ring movie has now officially announced its release date, and full cast and fans are already losing their minds. Bandai Namco and A24 confirmed that Elden Ring will hit theaters on March 3, 2028, and the film will be shot for IMAX, promising a massive cinematic experience. The movie is being written and directed by acclaimed filmmaker Alex Garland, best known for Ex Machina, Annihilation, and Civil War. The film is based on the hit 2022 fantasy game created by From Software and published by Bandai Namco Entertainment. The world building by George R.R. Martin. Martin is also attached as a producer on the movie. The official cast includes Kit Connor, Ben Winshaw, Kaylee Spaney, Tom Burrick, Havana Rose Liu, Sonoya Mizuno, Jonathan Pryce, Ruby Cruz, Nick Offerman, Emma Laird, Jefferson Hall, John Hodgkinson, and Peter Serafinowicz. Their roles are still being kept secret, which has sparked huge fan theories online about who could play iconic characters like Queen Markia, Radan, and even the Tarnished. Production officially begins in spring 2026, meaning its epic fantasy is now fully underway. With A24 behind it and Garland directing, Elden Ring could become one of the biggest video game movies ever made. Marvel is finally bringing one of Spider-Man's most important characters into the mix. Gwen Stacy is officially joining Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2, but with a major twist fans did not see coming. According to Collider, Gwen Stacy will make her debut in Season 2 of the animated Marvel Studios series, which is set to return on Disney Plus in fall 2026. However, this won't be the classic comic book version of Gwen just hanging around Peter Parker's school. Showrunner Jeff Trammell has teased on Instagram that this Gwen will suit up as Spider-Gwen, meaning she may have powers of her own right from the start. The show takes place in its own alternate timeline rather than the main MCU sacred timeline, so this version of Gwen will not be connected to Tom Holland's live-action Spider-Man. or the upcoming Spider-Man Brand New Day. In the Season 1 premiere, Peter Parker was bitten by a radioactive spider that dropped through a portal. And the story hinted that the spider could continue moving through Midtown, possibly setting up Gwen's origin. Season 2 was first confirmed at New York Comic-Con, and reports say it will also feature more trouble between the return of Charlie Cox as Daredevil. While Marvel still hasn't introduced Gwen in the live-action MCU, she's finally entering the Spider-Man universe in animated form, and fans are already excited. The Spider-Verse may be getting even bigger. New reports suggest Sony is quietly developing more Spider-Man variant projects beyond the ones fans already know about. In a recent interview with SFX magazine, via Oren Uzel, the showrunner of Spider-Noir, revealed that multiple unannounced Spider-Man variant projects are currently in development. Uzel said, "I'm focused on Spider-Noir, but I know there are others in the works," adding that he has spoken to the teams behind them and thinks they are very exciting. He also explained that these projects may follow a similar formula to Spider-Noir, taking unique genres and mixing them with alternate Spider-Man versions. According to Uziel, the idea is to take a genre and elevate it by putting a spider variant into it, opening the door for fresh stories across different worlds. Right now, one confirmed spin-off in development in the animated Spider-Punk movie. Daniel Kaluuya, who voiced Spider-Punk in the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, recently revealed that he and co-writer Ajahn Singh are in the finishing stages of the first draft. Meanwhile, Spider-Noir is the next big release. The series stars Nicolas Cage as Ben Reilly, a darker version of Spider-Noir, described as a struggling private investigator in 1930s New York. The show will premiere on Prime Video in May 27, 2026, and could be the first step in a much larger Spider-Man multiverse expansion. Marvel may be changing direction with Spider-Man Brand New Day, and it could mean one of Spider-Man's darkest storylines is no longer happening. According to a new report from the Comic Circus, Marvel Studios has reportedly dropped plans to include the terrifying man-spider mutation in the upcoming film. The update came during a recent Discord Q&A hosted by insider Alex Perez, where he said some producers were concerned about how family audiences would react to seeing an 8-legged monster in the movie. Perez explained that the concept has been discussed, but last I heard they don't want to do that. For fans unfamiliar with the idea, Man-Spider is a horrifying mutated version of Peter Parker that transforms him into a giant spider-like creature. The creature created in Marvel Comics became especially popular in the 1990s animated Spider-Man series. If true, this likely means the movie will focus more on Peter Parker's emotional journey after Spider-Man No Way Home. The movie ended with Doctor Strange casting a spell that erased Peter's from everyone's memory. Reports say the new story will explore a world where Peter Parker is no more, where Spider-Man continues protecting New York. The film stars Tom Holland, Zendaya, Jacob Batalon, Mark Ruffalo, John Barenthal, and Sadie Sink, and swings into theaters on July 31st, 2026. The new DC Studios universe is officially moving forward as James Gunn has revealed the first major update for Man of Tomorrow. Gunn confirmed on social media that principal photography has officially begun on the upcoming Superman sequel and shared the first image from the set. The photo appears to show filming at the Van Cole Department of Corrections, where Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor was transferred after his appearance in Peacemaker Season 2. His inmate badge can also be seen in the image, suggesting Lex will still be in prison when the story begins. The image also unveiled a brand new Superman logo, combining the classic S shield with Brainiac's iconic symbol, teasing the villain's major role in the film. Lars Ettinger was cast as Brainiac in December 2025, marking the villain's first ever live-action movie appearance. Reports say that the story will see Superman and Lex Luthor forced to work together to stop Brainiac. David Cornsweet returns as Superman, alongside Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane, Isabella Merced as Hawkgirl, Aaron Pierce as Jon Stewart, and Frank Grillo as Rick Flag Jr. The film is currently shooting in Georgia and recently added Adria Arjona as a mystery role, with rumors linking her to Maxima or even Wonder Woman. Man of Tomorrow hits theaters on July 9th, 2027. Deadpool's future in the Marvel Cinematic Universe may be changing, and Ryan Reynolds is finally teasing what comes next. During an appearance on today's Sunday Sit Down Live, Reynolds was asked if he had been thinking about Deadpool's future after the massive success of Deadpool and Wolverine. Reynolds revealed, "I have some stuff kind of written, confirming he already has ideas for the character's return." However, he made it clear that he may not lead another solo movie, saying, "I don't think I'm going to center him again." Reynolds explained that Deadpool works better as a supporting character and a guy that's great in a group, which has fueled rumors that he could appear in bigger Marvel team-up movies instead of Deadpool 4. Fans have heavily speculated that Deadpool may show up in Avengers Doomsday, set to release on December 18th, 2026. Reynolds has played down these rumors, saying in September 2025 that he has not stepped foot on set. The film is expected to focus heavily on the return of X-Men characters like Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, and James Marsden, making Deadpool's possible return even more likely. The upcoming John Rambo prequel has another major action star. David Harbour has officially joined the cast alongside Noah Centineo in the original story of one of cinema's most iconic action heroes. According to an exclusive report in The Hollywood Reporter, Harbour will play Major Trotman, John Rambo's commanding officer and mentor. In the original Rambo trilogy, the role was played by Richard Crenna and was one of the few calming influences in Rambo's life. Harbour stepping into that role is a major addition for the film. The movie is set before the events of First Blood and will explore a younger John Rambo during his days as a soldier fighting in the jungle before becoming the war-scarred drifter fans met in 1982. Centineo stars as the younger Rambo in what could be one of the biggest action roles yet. The film is being directed by Jalmari Highlander, known for Sisu, and filming has already wrapped in Bangkok after beginning in January 2026. Sylvester Stallone is attached as executive producer, helping guide the next chapter of the franchise. While there's no exact release date yet, John Rambo is expected to hit theaters in 2027. Love is in the air, and so is murder. Hard Eyes 2 is officially happening, and Paramount Pictures has locked in a release date just in time for Valentine's Day. According to new reports, Hard Eyes 2 will slash its way into theaters on February 11th, 2028, during Valentine's Day weekend. Paramount will co-produce and co-finance the sequel alongside Spyglass Media Group, while also handling global distribution. The first Hard Eyes became a surprise hit in 2025, mixing romantic comedy with brutal slasher horror. The movie followed co-workers Allie and Jay, played by Olivia Holt and Mason Gooding, who were mistaken for a couple by a serial killer targeting lovers on Valentine's Day. Despite a modest budget, the film earned over $33 million worldwide and quickly built a cult following. Josh Rubin is expected to return to direct and co-write the sequel, with Darcy Fowler based on a story by Christopher Landon and Michael Kennedy. Right now, no plot details have been revealed, and it's still unclear if Holt and Gooding will reprise their roles. With the first movie ending on a mysterious cliffhanger, fans are already wondering who or what the next Hard Eyes killer will be. The streets of Miami are heating up again, and the long-awaited Miami Vice 85 reboot has officially revealed its title, and the cast is already turning heads. According to new reports, the upcoming reboot is officially titled Miami Vice 85, with Michael B. Jordan and Austin Butler set to lead the film as the new generation of undercover detectives. The movie is said to be a fresh reimagining of the classic Miami Vice franchise, which originally starred Don Johnson and Philip Michael Thomas, and later got a 2006 film adaptation directed by Michael Mann. Reports suggest Jordan may play Detective James Sonny Crockett, while Butler is rumored to take on Ricardo Tubbs, though the studio is not officially confirmed. Character details. The film is expected to bring back the neon-soaked 1980s style, blending fast cars, drug cartels, and undercover missions with a modern cinematic edge. Production is rumored to begin later this year, but no official release date has been announced yet. With two of Hollywood's biggest stars attached, Miami Vice 85 could become one of the most stylish action reboots in years. Marvel Studios is continuing development on its highly anticipated X-Men reboot, and new casting rumors are starting to surface. According to industry insider reports, the studio is reportedly considering Odessa Azion for the role of Rogue and Peter Claffey for Beast. These reports have gained attention online, but it's important to clarify that Marvel Studios has not officially confirmed any casting decisions at this stage. The project itself is still in early development, and no full cast has been announced. Rogue and Beast are two of the most iconic characters from the X-Men universe. Rogue is known for her ability to absorb powers with touch, while Beast, also known as Dr. Hank McCoy, is a brilliant scientist with superhuman strength and agility. Fans are especially curious to see how Marvel will reintroduce these characters into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Marvel officially regained the X-Men film rights after Disney acquired 21st Century Fox in 2019. And since then, the studio has been carefully planning how to integrate mutants into its larger storyline. For now, these casting choices remain unconfirmed, but updates are expected as development moves forward. Major updates have arrived for the next chapter in the Jumanji franchise. During CinemaCon 2026, stars Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, and Jack Black took the stage to officially reveal the title and first trailer for the upcoming film. The new movie is titled Jumanji Open World, continuing the story after the massive success of Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle and Jumanji The Next Level. The footage shown at CinemaCon gave attendees an early look at the film's direction, teasing bigger in-game worlds, new challenges, and higher stakes for the returning characters. While the trailer has not yet been released publicly, early descriptions suggest the sequel will expand beyond the jungle setting, introducing new environments and gameplay mechanics within the Jumanji universe. The core cast is confirmed to return, with Johnson, Hart, and Black reprising their roles. Sony Pictures has not yet announced an exact release date, but the film is currently expected to arrive in theaters in 2026. CinemaCon, one of Hollywood's biggest industry events, is often where studios unveil exclusive first looks at major upcoming projects. More details, including a public trailer release, are expected soon. Sony Pictures has unveiled the first footage from Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse during CinemaCon 2026, giving fans an early look at the highly anticipated continuation of Miles Morales' story. The footage, shown exclusively to attendees, features Miles attempting to escape from the Prowler, a darker version of himself introduced at the end of Across the Spider-Verse. The scene reportedly highlights intense action and emotional stakes as Miles struggles to break free and return to his own universe. Directors Bob Persichetti and Justin K. Thompson also addressed the audience, describing the film as the final chapter of Miles Morales' journey within the Spider-Verse trilogy. They emphasized that the story will bring together threads from the previous films while delivering a powerful and emotional conclusion. While the footage has not been released publicly, early reactions from CinemaCon attendees have been highly positive, praising the animation quality and scale of the story. Sony has not announced a new release date yet, following previous delays, but production is actively moving forward as the studio prepares for Miles' arc in what is expected to be a major animated event. Sony Pictures has revealed new footage from Spider-Man Brand New Day during CinemaCon 2026, along with two brand new teaser posters. While the clip hasn't been released publicly, a detailed breakdown confirms major story moments. The scene begins with Tom Holland's Peter Parker spotting Ned Leeds, played by Jacob Batalon, inside a bodega. Ned doesn't recognize Peter, and the moment quickly becomes emotional. Peter follows him to a college party where he discovers Ned has built a conspiracy board trying to track down Spider-Man's identity. In a twist, Ned explains he doesn't want to expose Spider-Man, but instead thank him for saving his life. He even narrows the identity down to two suspects, completely missing Peter himself. Meanwhile, Zendaya's MJ and Peter introduce himself under a fake name, Maynard, continuing the theme of lost identity. The clip ends with Peter watching MJ kiss someone else, adding an emotional layer to the story. Sony has unveiled two posters, including one showed MJ reflected in Spider-Man's mask. The film is set to release on July 31st, 2026, promising a more emotional and mature Spider-Man story. The beloved Paddington franchise is continuing, as a fourth film has officially been confirmed to be in development. Studio Canal has announced that Paddington 4 is now in the early stages following the success of the previous entries. The Paddington series, based on the classic books by Michael Bond, has become one of the most successful family franchises in recent years. Both Paddington 2014 and Paddington 2 2017 were praised for their storytelling, humor, and emotional depth, while Paddington in Peru, the third film, is set to continue expanding the character's journey. Studio executives have confirmed that plans for a fourth movie are already underway, showing strong confidence in the long-term future of the franchise. However, specific details about the plot, cast, or release date have not yet been revealed. What is clear is that Paddington remains a major global character, loved by audiences of all ages. With the third film still on the way, the continuation of the fourth installment signals that the studio is committed to building a lasting cinematic universe around the iconic bear. More updates are expected as development progresses. A sequel to Wonka is officially moving forward, with reports confirming that Wonka 2 is preparing to begin filming soon. The original film, which served as a prequel to the classic Willy Wonka story, was a commercial success and introduced audiences to a younger version of the iconic chocolatier. According to industry updates, Timothée Chalamet is set to return as Willy Wonka, continuing the character's journey as he builds his magical chocolate empire. His performance in the first film was widely praised and played a major role in the movie's global success. While Warner Bros. Has not yet officially announced a release date, early development appears to be progressing steadily, with production expected to begin in the near future. Plot details are currently being kept under wraps, but the sequel is likely to expand on Wonka's rise and introduce new characters and challenges. At this stage, the project remains in development, and more official announcements are expected once filming begins. Fans can look forward to another imaginative chapter in the world of Willy Wonka. New casting rumors are emerging around the upcoming Man of Tomorrow, a film expected to continue the story of Superman in the new DC universe. According to recent industry reports, Adira Arjona is being considered to play the character Maxima. Maxima is a powerful DC Comics figure known as the Queen of the planet Almarok, often portrayed as a strong, complex character with ties to Superman's story. Her potential introduction could signal a larger expansion of cosmic elements within the DC universe. However, it's important to note that DC Studios has not officially confirmed this casting, and the project itself is still in early development. Details about the film's storyline, director, and full cast remain limited at this stage. The Superman franchise is currently being rebooted under the direction of James Gunn, with a new long-term plan to build a connected universe across films and television. For now, Adira Arjona's involvement remains a rumor, but fans are watching closely as DC continues shaping its next era of superhero storytelling. A new chapter in the Child's Play franchise is officially underway. Creator Don Mancini has confirmed that a new film is being developed, and it will continue the story after the events of the Chucky television series. Mancini, who has been the creative force behind the franchise since the original 1988 film, revealed that the next movie will follow directly the timeline established in the TV show. This means fans can expect returning characters and ongoing storylines to carry over into the big screen. The Chucky series, which premiered in 2021, expanded the franchise by diving deeper into the killer doll's world, introducing new characters while also bringing back familiar faces from earlier films. Its success helped revive interest in the long-running horror saga. While specific plot details, casting updates, and a release date have not yet been announced, the confirmation of a new film shows that the franchise is far from over. With Mancini still leading the way, fans can expect the next installment to stay true to the tone and continuity that has defined Chucky for decades. New casting rumors are circulating around the upcoming X-Men reboot, with actress Sydney Sweeney reportedly being considered for the role of Emma Frost. Emma Frost, also known as the White Queen, is one of the most iconic characters in Marvel's mutant universe. Known for her powerful telepathic abilities and complex moral alignment, she has often been portrayed as both a villain and anti-hero in X-Men stories. According to industry speculation, Studios Marvel is exploring a new generation of actors as it prepares to officially integrate mutants into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. However, no casting decisions have been confirmed at this stage, and the project is still in early development. Sydney Sweeney, known for roles in Euphoria and Anyone But You, has not been officially attached to the film, but fan speculation has grown online due to her rising popularity and strong screen presence. Marvel regained the rights to the X-Men following Disney's acquisition of 21st Century Fox, and the studio has been slowly building toward a full reboot of the mutant universe. For now, the Emma Frost casting remains a rumor, and official announcements are expected as development continues. The long-running horror franchise Final Destination is reportedly set to continue, with early industry reports suggesting that Final Destination 7 is being developed with potential release window of May 2028. The franchise, known for its unique concept of death itself targeting survivors of premonitions, has remained a standout in horror cinema since the original film released in 2000. Each installment follows a new group of characters trying and ultimately failing to escape their fate. According to early development chatter, Warner Bros. Is exploring ideas to bring the series back after the recent renewed interest in legacy horror franchises. However, at this stage, no official confirmation has been made by Warner Bros. Pictures regarding production, casting, or release plans. The rumored 2028 date should therefore be treated as speculative until the studio makes a formal announcement. No director or story details have been revealed yet. If greenlit, the project would mark the 7th installment in one of horror's most recognizable franchises, continuing its signature theme that no one can truly escape death's design. For now, fans will need to wait for official updates as development progresses. The iconic gaming franchise Call of Duty is reportedly heading to the big screen, with early industry reports suggesting a live-action film adaptation is aiming for a June 2028 release window. According to development updates, Paramount Pictures is currently involved in bringing the long-running military shooter series to theaters. While no official confirmation has been regarding production status, the project is believed to be in early planning stages. The Call of Duty franchise is known for its large-scale warfare storytelling, spanning multiple eras including modern combat, historical conflicts, and futuristic battlefields. This wide universe gives filmmakers a broad foundation to build a cinematic adaptation, though no specific storyline has been announced yet. At this stage, casting, director details, and plot information remain unconfirmed, and the June 2028 release date should therefore be considered speculative until officially announced by the studio. If the project moves forward, it would mark one of the most ambitious video game adaptations ever attempted, following the growing trend of successful game-to-film franchises in Hollywood. For now, fans of the series will need to wait for official confirmation as development continues behind the scenes. New footage from the upcoming Highlander has reportedly been shown at CinemaCon, giving audiences an early look at the film's intense action style and tone. The reboot stars Henry Cavill in the lead role, and early descriptions suggest a darker, more grounded approach compared to the original franchise. According to attendees, the footage highlights Cavill in highly choreographed John Wick-style combat sequences, including a standout rave fight scene that blends fast-paced action with stylized visuals. The story continues the mythological of immortal warriors locked in a centuries-long battle known as the There Only Can Be One concept. The film has been originally developed as a modern reimagining of the classic fantasy action series, originally popularized in the 1980s. However, no official full footage has been released reportedly, and details remain limited to CinemaCon descriptions and early reports. At this stage, studio confirmation from Lionsgate regarding the final cut or release specifics is still pending. Cast members beyond Cavill have not been fully confirmed in official marketing materials yet. While excitement is building around the reboot's intense action direction, audiences will need to wait for an official trailer to see the full scope of the film. The universe of Westeros is expanding again, as the new feature film in the Game of Thrones universe has reportedly been officially titled Aegon's Conquest. The project will explore the legendary rise of Aegon I Targaryen, the ruler who first united the Seven Kingdoms under the Targaryen rule. According to an early industry updates, the film will serve as both major prequel to the original series and expand on the history already referenced in both Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. Aegon's Conquest is one of the most significant events in the Westeros history, marking the beginning of Targaryen dominance through dragon warfare. However, at this stage, HBO has not released full official production details, including casting, director confirmation, or a final release date. The title and development information are based on early reporting and industry tracking updates. The project is expected to continue HBO's strategy of expanding George R.R. Martin's world into multiple interconnected stories, focusing on key historical events. For now, Aegon's Conquest remains in early development, but it signals another major expansion of the Game of Thrones universe that could bring dragons and war back to the big screen. The iconic aviation franchise, Top Gun franchise, is officially moving forward once again as a third installment, Top Gun 3, is now in development with Tom Cruise set to return as Pete Maverick Mitchell. Following the massive global success of Top Gun Maverick, which became one of the highest-grossing films in recent years, Paramount is reportedly continuing the story of the legendary pilot. However, at this stage, the studio has not released official production timelines, story details, or a confirmed release date. Early industry reports suggest that development's underway, with creative discussions focused on how to expand Maverick's story while maintaining that grounded high-intensity aerial action that defined the previous films. No additional cast members have been officially confirmed. Paramount Pictures has not yet made a formal public announcement regarding filming schedules or script completion, meaning the project remains in early development. If the film moves forward as expected, it will continue one of Hollywood's most successful legacy sequels built around practical aviation stunts and large-scale cinematic spectacle. For now, Top Gun 3 remains officially in development, with fans waiting for the next confirmed update from the studio. The action franchise, The Beekeeper, is officially getting a follow-up, with early reports revealing new plot details for The Beekeeper 2. The sequel is expected to continue the high-intensity story of Jason Statham's character, expanding the world introduced in the first film. The original movie, following a former operative who returns to action after a personal tragedy, uncovers a larger criminal network tied to cyber fraud and corruption. According to early development updates, the sequel will reportedly raise the stakes even further, pushing the character into a more global conflict involving deeper layers of the organization he previously confronted. Jason Statham is expected to return in the lead role, continuing his collaboration with director David Ayer, who helped shape the gritty tone of the first installment. However, official confirmation from MGM Studios regarding the full cast, production schedule, and final release date has not yet been publicly detailed. While some reports suggest a release window next year, this has not been officially confirmed and remains subject to production timelines. For now, The Beekeeper 2 is in active development, with more official updates expected as filming progresses. A new supernatural horror project titled The Caretaker is officially moving forward, with filmmaker David Bruckner attached to direct and Sydney Sweeney to star in the lead role. Bruckner, known for directing modern horror titles like The Night House, brings a strong atmospheric style to the project, which is expected to focus on psychological and supernatural events. While detailed plot information has not yet been publicly revealed, early descriptions suggest a horror narrative centered around a mysterious caretaker figure and unsettling events tied to a haunted or isolated setting. Sydney Sweeney continues to expand her film career with this role, following her appearances in both drama and thriller projects. However, at this stage, no additional casting details has been officially confirmed. The film is being developed as a major genre collaboration, but production timelines, shooting and schedules, and release dates have not yet been officially announced by any official studio sources. For now, The Caretaker remains in early development, and further updates are expected once production formally begins. The project adds to the growing lineup of psychological horror films currently in development across Hollywood. New footage from Avengers Doomsday is reportedly shown at CinemaCon 2026, and early reactions suggest Marvel may be setting up one of the biggest crossover events in superhero history. The trailer starts with a look at Downey Jr.'s green-hooded, metal-faced Dr. Doom as he prepares to invade the multiverse. There's a shot of Professor Xavier, Patrick Stewart, looking out his X-Mansion's window as a bright flash of light is outside, signaling trouble. It's a flood of crossovers from there. Gambit, Channing Tatum, and Shang-Chi, Simu Liu battle. Mystique, Rebecca Romijn, transforms into Yelena Belova, resulting in a Florence Pugh vs. Florence Pugh fight, and Thor and Doom face off, but Doom catches Thor's magical hammer Mjolnir with his bare hands. The biggest moment comes when Chris Evans' Steve Rogers makes his triumphant return and reunites with Thor. The Asgardian is shocked at his Avengers teammate's arrival, given that Cap has gone back in time to grow old with his sweetheart Peggy Carter in Endgame and passed down the mantle to Sam Wilson. It's still unclear how Cap's back, but he's clearly still worthy enough to pick up the Thor's hammer, just like he did during Thanos' battle in Endgame. All the heroes must put aside their differences and join forces to take down Dr. Doom. Downey Jr., who narrates some of the trailer in a vaguely Eastern European accent, took the stage with Evans to play the trailer twice for the packed auditorium. No official trailer has been released publicly, and Marvel has not confirmed any of these details. For now, everything should be treated as early CinemaCon reactions rather than confirmed story elements. That's everything you need to know from today's Hollywood Update. Exciting news for DC fans as Robert Pattinson has shared a promising update on The Batman 2. In a recent interview, Pattinson described the upcoming sequel script as so good, building major anticipation for the next chapter of the Dark Knight story. The actor also confirmed that filming is expected to begin in April 2026, aligning with the previous production timelines reported by major outlets like Warner Bros. And industry trades. With this marks a significant step forward for the sequel, which has faced multiple delays due to scheduling changes and industry strikes in recent years. Director Matt Reeves returns to helm the project, continuing his darker, grounded take on Gotham City that was first introduced in The Batman back in 2022. While plot details are still being kept tightly under wraps, Reeves has previously hinted that the sequel will expand on the psychological depth of Bruce Wayne's journey. The film is currently set for release on October 2027, giving the team ample time for production and post-production. With Pattinson's strong praise and filming about to begin, The Batman 2 is shaping up to be one of DC's most anticipated upcoming films. The Scream franchise is officially continuing, as Scream 8 is now in development with a fresh creative team behind the scenes. According to reports from major industry outlets like The Hollywood Reporter, sisters Lila Zuckerman and Nora Zuckerman have been brought on to write the screenplay for the next installment. The duo is best known for their work on the hit mystery series Poker Face, which earned praise for its sharp writing and modern take on classic whodunit storytelling. Their involvement signals a potentially fresh direction for the long-running horror franchise. While plot details for Scream 8 are still being kept under wraps, the project continues to build on the success of recent entries that have revived this series for a new generation. The franchise originally began in 1996 classic direction by Wes Craven and has remained one of the most iconic names in horror. At this stage, no director, cast, or release date has been officially confirmed. However, with new writers now attached, development is clearly moving forward as the studio prepares the next chapter in the Scream legacy. Henry Cavill is once again part of the James Bond conversation, but this time with a surprising twist. In a recent interview with Heat, Cavill revealed that while he may no longer see himself as the right fit to play 007, he is still very interested in joining the franchise in a different role. The actor explained that starting a fresh run as Bond at this stage might not be ideal, but added that he would love to be a Bond villain if the right opportunity came along. It's an idea that has quickly caught fans' attention, especially given Cavill's mix of charm and intensity on screen. This comes at a key moment for the franchise, as Amazon MGM Studios is actively developing the next Bond film. Acclaimed director Denis Villeneuve is officially attached to the helm, with Stephen Knight confirmed to write the script. No casting decisions for the next Bond have been announced yet. However, with Cavill openly expressing interest and the reboot taking shape, the idea of him stepping in as a powerful villain is now firmly on fans' radar. It's been years since fans last saw Tree stuck in a deadly time loop, but Happy Death Day 3 may not be as far away as it seems. Jessica Rothy has shared a very promising update about the long-awaited third film in the horror comedy franchise. In a recent interview with Screen Rant, Rothy has revealed that director and writer Christopher Landon has already the entire story planned out. She explained that he has the whole third one figured out, confirming that the creative direction for the third chapter is fully in place. So why hasn't it happened yet? According to Rothy, the delay is not about the story, but about logistics. Studios like Universal Pictures and Blumhouse Productions still need to align schedules, budgets, and production plans before officially moving forward. Rothy has also hinted at a larger shared universe, joking about a Chris CU that could connect films like Freaky and We Have a Ghost. Despite the 7-year gap since Happy Deathday 2U, she made it clear she's ready to return anytime. For now, the film isn't officially greenlit, but one thing is certain, the story's ready and it's only a matter of time before Tree's journey continues. After years of uncertainty, Fall 2 is officially moving forward with a confirmed release window. The sequel to the survivor thriller Fall is now set to arrive in summer 2026, ending a long 4-year wait since the original film's release. The first movie, directed by Scott Mann, became a surprise hit thanks to its intense high-altitude premise. But it's following two friends stranded at the top of a massive radio tower, and its simple but gripping concept helped it gain strong word of mouth and strong box office success. Now, the sequel is officially back on track after facing multiple delays during development. While full plot details are still being kept under wraps, the creative team has previously hinted that Fall 2 will expand beyond the original single location setup and explore a broader survival story. At this stage, casting details and filming updates remain limited, and the studio has not revealed a full lineup of returning or new characters. However, with the release window now locked in, production is clearly progressing. Fans of the original can expect another tense and suspense-driven experience as Fall 2 aims to build on the fear, scale, and survival elements that made the first film stand out. The future of the Avatar franchise is looking strong, but fans may need a bit of patience. According to producer John Landau, both Avatar 4 and 5 are moving full speed ahead, confirming that development on the next chapters is actively progressing. Speaking about the status of the films, Landau made it clear that the team is committed to continuing the story set up by director James Cameron. The massive sci-fi saga, which began with Avatar, has already expanded with multiple sequels, and the long-term plan remains firmly in place. However, there is some uncertainty when it comes to release dates. While Avatar 4 is currently targeted for 2029 and Avatar 5 for 2031, Landau emphasized that these dates should be considered tentative. Due to the scale of production, heavy visual effects work, and ongoing scheduling factors, timelines could still shift. The Avatar films are known for their groundbreaking technology and long development cycles, which often lead to delays. Even so, the confirmation that both sequels are pushing forward reassures fans that the journey on Pandora is far from over. For now, the focus remains on delivering the next chapters at the highest possible quality, even if it takes more time. The Dexter universe is expanding once again, and this time it's bringing in a major new star. Brian Cox has officially joined Dexter Resurrection as a brand new villain known as the New York Ripper. According to reports from major industry outlets, Cox will play a mysterious and dangerous serial killer who becomes a central threat in the upcoming season. His character is expected to bring a darker and more intense dynamic to the story, raising the stakes for everyone involved. Cox is widely known for his powerful performances, especially in Succession, where he played Logan Roy. His addition to the Dexter franchise signals a strong push towards high-quality storytelling and complex characters. While full plot details for the new season are still under wraps, the introduction of the New York Ripper suggests a fresh direction for the series, possibly moving beyond familiar locations and expanding into a new setting. At this stage, the studio has not revealed an official release date for the season. However, with casting now underway and a major name like Cox joining the lineup, Dexter Resurrection is quickly becoming one of the most anticipated upcoming crime dramas. The Star Wars universe may be expanding once again, as early reports suggest that Star Wars Maul, Shadow Lord, is already being planned for a second season. The series, which focuses on the return of the iconic Sith Lord Darth Maul, has generated strong early interest among fans of the franchise. While Lucasfilm has not officially confirmed a renewal, multiple industry reports indicate that internal discussions are already underway for continuing the story. The original character of Maul remains one of the most popular figures in Star Wars lore, originally introduced in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and later explored in animated projects like The Clone Wars and Rebels. This new series appears to continue expanding his darker, more complex storyline. At this stage, no official release date, production schedule, or creative details for Season 2 has been confirmed. However, the early talk of continuation suggests that Lucasfilm is confident in the long-term potential of the project. If approved, a second season would likely continue exploring Maul's rise, survival, and influence in the criminal underworld of the galaxy far, far away. For now, fans will have to wait for official confirmation from Lucasfilm, but the buzz around Shadow Lord continues that interest in Darth Maul's story is far from over. A new chapter in the Robocop franchise is officially in development, as a reboot series has been greenlit at Amazon MGM Studios. The project aims to reintroduce the iconic cybernetic law enforcer to a modern streaming audience. The original Robocop, directed by Paul Verhoeven, became a landmark sci-fi action film known for its blend of violent action, satire, and commentary on corporate power and law enforcement. It later spawned sequels, a remake, and multiple adaptations across different media. According to early reports, the new series is still in development, and creative details such as cast, timeline, and story direction have not yet been revealed. However, the project is expected to remain the core concept of Robocop for a new generation, potentially updating its themes for today's technological and social landscape. Amazon's involvement signals a continued push into large-scale franchise storytelling on streaming platforms, especially with established intellectual properties that already have strong global recognition. At this stage, no release date has been announced, and the series is still in early development. With the project now officially moving forward, Robocop is set to return in a new form, bringing the classic sci-fi character back into modern entertainment discussions once again. The Marvel Universe is heading back into horror territory, as Marvel Zombies has officially been confirmed to return for a second season. The update comes from Brad Winderbaum, head of streaming, television, and animation at Marvel Studios. Speaking on the Escape Pod podcast, Winderbaum confirmed that Season 2 is already in early production, revealing that he has even seen the first animatic of the new season. He teased that the upcoming season will not only continue the zombie-driven chaos, but will also introduce an MCU element that has never really happened before, building major curiosity among fans. The first season of Marvel Zombies, released on Disney Plus in 2025, became a surprise hit and performed strongly in streaming charts across multiple countries. The series is based on the darker storyline explored in What If, imagining Marvel heroes in a world overrun by a deadly zombie outbreak. Although Season 1 received mixed critical reactions, it ended on a major cliffhanger, leaving room for continuation. Characters like Ms. Marvel, Wanda Maximoff, and others were left in uncertain situations, fueling fan demand for more. At this stage, Marvel has not announced an official release date, but with production already underway, Marvel Zombies Season 2 is clearly moving forward with even bigger stakes and darker surprises ahead. Jenna Ortega is reportedly being eyed for a major role in the long-awaited Gremlins 3 as the franchise continues moving forward in early development. According to industry reports from outlets like IMDb and entertainment coverage sites, Ortega has been offered and considered for the lead female role, though no official casting has been confirmed yet. The project itself is expected to continue the legacy of the original Gremlins, which became a cult classic for its mix of horror, comedy, and practical creature effects. The sequel plan has been discussed for years, but recent reports indicate the film is now actively moving forward with development. At this stage, details about Ortega's involvement remain unconfirmed, and neither the studio nor filmmakers have officially announced casting decisions. However, her name has repeatedly surfaced as a strong candidate as casting discussions continue. Reports also suggest the film is aiming for a 2027 theatrical release, with production expected to begin in the next development phase, though timelines may still shift. If finalized, this would add another major franchise to Ortega's growing Hollywood lineup, especially as she continues to dominate the horror and fantasy space. For now, Gremlins 3 is still in early stages, and Ortega's development remains a reported offer, not an official confirmation. The final chapter of the Dune saga is officially taking shape, and now a new detail about its runtime is surprising fans. Dune Part 3, directed by Denis Villeneuve, is set to become the shortest film in the trilogy, according to an IMAX listing reported by industry outlets. The movie is expected to run for 2 hours and 20 minutes, which is noticeably shorter than its predecessors. For comparison, the original Dune ran for 2 hours and 35 minutes, while Dune Part 2 extended even further to 2 hours and 46 minutes. This makes Dune 3 the most compact entry in Villeneuve's epic sci-fi trilogy so far. Despite the shorter runtime, the film is still expected to deliver a large-scale conclusion to Frank Herbert's Dune Messiah storyline. The story reportedly takes place nearly 2 decades after the previous film, with Paul Atreides now dealing with the consequences of his rise to power. The cast includes returning stars like Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya, along with new additions such as Robert Pattinson, who is expected to play the villain Sidetail. While the runtime may be shorter, the film is expected to deliver intense sci-fi drama, political conflict, and the final chapter of Paul Atreides' journey across Arrakis. The future of the X-Men in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is starting to take shape, and it looks like the studio is planning something much bigger than a single reboot film. Director Jake Scherer, who is attached to the upcoming X-Men, has confirmed that Marvel Studios is already thinking beyond just one installment. In a recent interview with Collider, Scherer explained that while the main focus is to first deliver one strong film, discussions about future stories are already happening behind the scenes. He revealed that the creative team is actively exploring different directions for the franchise, including ideas drawn from comic storylines that have not yet been adapted on screen. According to him, the goal is not just to reintroduce characters like Professor X, Cyclops, Storm, and Wolverine, but to find new and less explored paths within the X-Men universe. Scherer made it clear that the long-term vision is already part of the conversation, even if nothing has been officially locked in yet. This strongly suggests that Marvel is not treating the reboot as a one-off film, but rather the beginning of a larger mutant saga. While details remain tightly under wraps, it is clear that Marvel is carefully planning how the X-Men will fit into the broader MCU. For now, fans will have to wait, but the foundation for multiple X-Men films is already being built. Casting's heating up for the upcoming DC sequel Man of Tomorrow, as director James Gunn begins testing several actresses for a key new character. According to reports from Deadline, 4 actresses, Grace Van Patten, Sydney Chandler, Eva DiDomici, and Adria Arjona, have been screen tested for the role of Maxima. The character Maxima is a warrior queen from the planet Almerac, originally introduced in the DC Comics in Action Comics number 645. In the story, she arrives on Earth searching for a powerful mate and becomes fixated on Superman. Over time, in the comics, she has been portrayed as an antagonist, ally, and even a romantic interest. This marks the first live-action appearance of Maxima in the DC theatrical film, although the character has previously appeared in shows like Smallville and Supergirl. The sequel will continue the story of David Corenswet as Superman and Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, who are expected to face a major new threat involving Brainiac. The film is currently scheduled for release on July 9th, 2027, with production expected to begin in 2026. With casting now underway, Man of Tomorrow is quickly shaping up as one of DC's biggest upcoming projects. Exciting updates are coming from the set of Spider-Man Brand New Day, as reshoots for the film have officially been confirmed, and they're reportedly adding new changes to the villain storyline. In a recent interview with GQ, star Tom Holland revealed that he is currently filming additional scenes for the movie. He described the process as really fun, and reassured fans that the film is not in trouble. Holland explained that the reshoots are simply being used to enhance the movie rather than fix problems. According to him, the team is simply adding the icing on the cake, including more humor and a reworked villain storyline to improve the overall experience. The reports also confirmed that these updates are part of standard blockbuster production. Reshoots are commonly used in major superhero films to refine scenes, add new dialogue, or improve action sequences as the movie comes together in post-production. Directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, the film is one of Marvel's biggest upcoming releases, with high expectations following strong early trailer response and major audience anticipation. While details about the exact villain changes remain under wraps, the creative team appears focused on polishing the story rather than overhauling it completely. With production still ongoing, Brand New Day is shaping up to be one of the most anticipated entries in the next phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Robert Downey Jr. has sparked major online speculation after sharing new Doctor Doom-themed artwork that appears to tease possible connections to Avengers Doomsday. The image, centered around Doctor Doom, shows him overlooking a basket of decorated eggs, each one featuring symbols that seem to reference major Marvel characters and teams. Fans quickly notice multiple recognizable hints, including Captain America's shield, the Avengers logo, the X-Men symbol, Black Panther imagery, Namor-related references, Shang-Chi, and even the Fantastic Four symbol marked out. One cracked egg also appears to represent the Avengers themselves. One of the biggest talking points is the presence of two separate spider-themed eggs, which has fueled speculation about multiple Spider-Man-related appearances in the film. This has led to theories involving different versions of Spider-Man, especially with Tom Holland already confirmed, while rumors continue about Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. The artwork has not been officially explained by Marvel, and no story details have been confirmed through it. However, the number of references included has led many fans to believe it could be a subtle tease for a massive crossover nature of Avengers Doomsday. Whether intentional or just themed artwork, the post has successfully ignited discussion around Marvel's upcoming direction and which characters could play major roles in the next Avengers event film. The Jurassic World franchise may be heading back into production sooner than expected, as new insider reports suggest that a sequel to Jurassic World Rebirth could begin filming as early as fall 2026. While Jurassic World 5 has not been officially confirmed by Universal Pictures, multiple industry insiders claim development is already underway. The 2025 release of Rebirth, directed by Gareth Edwards, was a major financial success, earning over $800 million worldwide, which has strengthened expectations for another installment. Reports indicate that Scarlett Johansson is expected to return as Zora Bennett, along with notable comebacks for Mahershala Ali and Jonathan Bailey. Insider Daniel Richtman and other sources suggest that the studio is actively planning the next chapter, though scheduling and production details are still being finalized. There are rumors that Gareth Edwards could return as director, although this has not been confirmed. Some reports even suggest that project could target a 2027 or 2028 release window, depending on how quickly production moves forward. For now, Universal has not officially announced Jurassic World 5, but multiple leaks and insider claim points towards early development. If filming does begin in late 2026, it would mark the next major step in continuing one of Hollywood's most successful dinosaur franchises. Peter Dinklage has officially joined the cast of Alien Earth Season 2 as a series regular, marking the first major casting addition for the major upcoming chapter of the sci-fi horror series. According to reports, Dinklage's role is being completely kept under wraps, and no character details have been revealed so far. However, the casting confirms that Season 2 is actively moving forward and expanding its storyline after the events of the first season's cliffhanger ending. Production for the new season is expected to begin in May 2026, with filming planned at Pinewood Studios in London. This continues the series' expansion within the Alien universe, which is set 2 years before the original 1979 film Alien, and explores a future where humanity faces deadly extraterrestrial threats on Earth. The series, created by Noah Hawley, has already built a strong ensemble cast, including Sidney Chandler, Alex Lothar, and Timely Olyphant. Most of the main cast is expected to return, while Dinklage becomes the first major new confirmation added. While plot details remain tightly guarded, Season 1 ended on a major cliffhanger, setting the stage for much larger conflict involving alien life forms and corporate power struggles. With Dinklage now on board, anticipation for Season 2 is growing rapidly as this series prepares for its next phase of production. Marvel Studios has officially renewed Wonder Man for Season 2 on Disney+, giving fans more of the unique superhero story set inside Hollywood. The series, which premiered on January 27, 2026, follows Simon Williams, played by Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, a struggling actor who secretly has superpowers. The renewal comes shortly after the show's debut, marking a strong vote of confidence from Marvel as it continues expanding its Disney Plus lineup. Season 2 will see the return of key creative figures, including co-creators Destin Daniel Cretton and Andrew Guest, along with stars Yahya Abdul-Mateen II and Ben Kingsley, who played Trevor Slattery. While plot details remain under wraps, the next season is expected to continue the story from the first season's ending and dive deeper into the mystery behind Simon Williams' powers. The show has been praised for blending superhero action with Hollywood satire, making it stand out from other Marvel projects. No release date has been announced yet, but with Season 2 now confirmed, Wonder Man is set to become an ongoing part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Phase 6 slate. The John Wick universe is expanding once again, and this time the spotlight is on Kane. The upcoming spin-off film centered on the fan-favorite blind assassin, played by Donnie Yen, is officially moving forward, with filming set to begin in April 2026. The project was first announced by Lionsgate in 2024, later confirmed at CinemaCon, where the reveal that Donnie Yen will not only reprise his role, but also direct the film. The story will continue after the events of John Wick Chapter 4, following Kane after he gains freedom from the High Table, opening the door for a deeper, more personal storyline. The film is expected to bring back Rina Sawayama as Akira, continuing her revenge storyline, while the script is being developed by Madison Tomlin, known for his work on The Batman Part 2. While plot details remain under wraps and no release date has been announced yet, production starting in April marks a major step forward. With Donnie Yen aiming to deliver a martial arts-driven action film, this spin-off is shaping up to be one of the most exciting entries in the growing John Wick franchise. Marvel has officially confirmed a new project centered on The Punisher, titled The Punisher: One Last Kill. The upcoming production is not a full-length theatrical film, but a special presentation for Disney+, similar in style to previous Marvel specials. It will feature John Barenthal returning as Frank Castle, the brutal vigilante known for taking justice into his own hands. The special is scheduled to premiere on May 12, 2026, and will run for approximately 60 minutes. According to reports, it will be released shortly after the finale of Daredevil Born Again Season 2, highlighting Marvel's strategy of connecting its TV and film storylines. Story details remain mostly under wraps, but the plot is expected to explore Castle's struggle to move beyond his violent past before being pulled back into conflict. Early hints suggest it may involve powerful crime families and continue his journey from recent appearances in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This project is also expected to serve as a bridge to future MCU stories, including Spider-Man Brand New Day. With its darker tone and focus on character depth, One Last Kill aims to deliver a more grounded and intense narrative, staying true to the Punisher's gritty legacy while expanding his role in Marvel's Phase 6 lineup. Disney and 20th Century Studios have officially set a release date for the next chapter of James Cameron's Avatar saga. Avatar 4 is scheduled to hit cinemas on December 21st, 2029, continuing the long-running franchise that began with the original Avatar in 2009, and followed with The Way of the Water and Fire and Ash. The day comes after multiple delays over the years due to production, visual effects, and scheduling shifts, but Disney has now locked in the late 2029 slot as part of its future movie slate. The Avatar films have become known for their groundbreaking visuals and box office success, with the first two sequels both earning huge global returns and maintaining strong audience interest. Filmmaker James Cameron has hinted that a significant portion of Avatar 4 has already been captured, especially scenes that involve the younger cast members, though much of the movie still remains in development. While Disney has committed to the 2029 release, Cameron has previously stated that the franchise's continuation depends on the success of Fire and Ash and the overall audience response. Avatar 4 is expected to expand the world of Pandora even further, exploring new environments and advancing the story of Jake Sully, Neytiri, and their family. With the release now confirmed, fans can start continuing down the years until another journey to Pandora arrives on the big screen. HBO is moving quickly with its ambitious Harry Potter TV reboot, as executive Casey Blois has confirmed that work on Season 2 is already underway, even before the first season has aired. The highly anticipated series is set to debut on Christmas 2026, but producers are already planning ahead to ensure continuity and momentum for the long-term adaptation. Blois revealed that the main goal is to avoid long delays between seasons, which have become common in large-scale fantasy shows. He explained that while the series is too massive to release annually, the team wants to minimize gaps, especially since the story follows young characters who age over time. This proactive approach reflects lessons learned from other major franchises where extended breaks have frustrated audiences and affected storyline flow. The series is designed as a faithful adaptation of J.K. Rowling's 7 books, with each season covering one novel. Early excitement is already strong, with the first trailer breaking viewing records and generating significant buzz among fans. At the same time, HBO has emphasized that its focus remains on quality storytelling rather than rushing production. Although it won't follow a strict yearly schedule, the commitment to writing future seasons early suggests a more streamlined process than previous big-budget TV projects. With a planned multi-year run, HBO hopes to balance high production standards with a constant release pattern, keeping audiences engaged without long waits between installments. The casting signals a major shift in the series as the story begins to explore Abby's perspective, portrayed by Caitlin Dever. Jerry Anderson is a Firefly surgeon whose death becomes one of the most defining moments in the entire narrative. His fate is directly tied to Joel Miller, whose actions spark a chain of events centered on revenge and loss. While the character was briefly introduced earlier in the series, Season 3 is expected to dive much deeper into his background and emotional significance. This approach follows the structure of the original game sequel, where Abby's story plays a central role. Jerry's death ultimately drives Abby's motivations, setting her on a path that collides with Ellie and expands the show's themes of morality and consequence. Production on Season 3 is currently underway, with the new installment expected to continue pushing the story into darker, more complex territory when it premieres. Sony Pictures has officially confirmed that its critically acclaimed Spider-Verse animated saga will continue with Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, set to release on June 18, 2027. This third installment will serve as the final chapter in the Miles Morales trilogy, bringing closure to a groundbreaking series that reshaped animated superhero storytelling. After years of exploring the multiverse and introducing audiences to diverse versions of Spider-Man, Sony is preparing to wrap up Miles' journey on a high note. The Spider-Verse films have enjoyed immense success both critically and commercially. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse won the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature, while its sequel, Across the Spider-Verse, delivered strong box office numbers and widespread praise for its animation style and storytelling. Despite this success, Sony's decision to end the trilogy signals a shift in strategy, especially following the mixed performance of some of its recent live-action projects. However, the Spider-Man universe will not end with Miles Morales. Sony plans to expand its franchise in new directions, focusing on live-action content. Upcoming projects include the Spider-Noir series starring Nicolas Cage and potential spin-off films centered on characters like Spider-Gwen and Spider-Punk, ensuring the Spider-Verse continues to evolve. Hollywood's biggest fantasy franchises are heading for a showdown. Warner Bros. And Legendary's Dune Part 3 and Disney and Marvel's Avengers Doomsday are both set to hit theaters on December 18, 2026. The simultaneous release has theater owners concerned about audience overwhelm, especially during the busy holiday season. Unlike the mismatched Barbie and Oppenheimer releases that created the Barbenheimer phenomenon, both Dune 3 and Avengers Doomsday are expected to appeal to similar audiences, particularly male viewers, raking as the stakes for box office performance. The two films also face competition for premium large-screen formats like IMAX. Dune 3 has secured 3 weeks of IMAX exclusively, which could give Denis Villeneuve's sci-fi spectacle an edge. Meanwhile, Disney and Marvel are sticking to their date despite the limitation, relying on the abundance of standard theaters to handle demand. The timing is strategic. The week before Christmas is a coveted slot, offering audiences ample free time to see both blockbusters while also avoiding spoilers, a particular concern for fans of the Dune and Avengers franchises. Both films are expected to be major box office draws. Dune Part 2 earned $750 million, while the last Avengers installment, Endgame, grossed $2.8 billion globally. Industry insiders acknowledge that while the face-off is unusual, it's a potential win-win for theaters. Fans may get 2 epic adventures in one holiday season, with each franchise showcasing its unique storytelling and spectacle. HBO's A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, the Game of Thrones prequel, following the adventures of Hedge Knight Sir Duncan Dunk and his squire Egg, is already deep into production for the second season. After its January 2026 premiere, the series was renewed quickly for Season 2, which began filming in December 2025 in Belfast, Northern Ireland, with the goal of debuting in 2027 on HBO and HBO Max. Production for the new season is reportedly progressing on schedule, adapting The Sorn Sword, the second of George R.R. Martin's Tales of Dunk and Egg novellas. Because the storylines are more self-contained and grounded than typical large-scale epic fantasies, the show's filming timeline is expected to stay tight enough to support a 2027 release without years of delay, a common issue for other premium fantasy series. Season 1's success, both critically and with strong viewership, has given HBO confidence to keep the momentum going, and insiders say the production team is committed to wrapping principal photography in time to meet the planned release window. Fans won't likely face lengthy gaps between seasons, and the quicker turnaround reflects HBO's push to build an annual production cycle for its Seven Kingdoms story. Warner Bros. And New Line Cinema have confirmed a brand new Lord of the Rings film is in development, and it's already generating major buzz. The project, currently titled The Lord of the Rings: Shadow of the Past, will be co-written by late-night talk show host Stephen Colbert, his son Peter McGee, and longtime franchise writer Philippia Boyens. The announcement was revealed in a video featuring Colbert alongside original trilogy producer Peter Jackson, marking a surprising but passionate continuation of Tolkien's beloved world. Colbert, a well-known Tolkien superfan, will step away from hosting the Late Show in May 2026 to focus on the film, which is being developed after The Lord of the Rings: The Hunt for Gollum. Shadow of the Past is expected to draw from parts of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Fellowship of the Ring that weren't included in Peter Jackson's original adaptations, spanning material that explores events in Middle-earth with familiar heroes like Sam, Merry, and Pippin. Although a director has not been confirmed yet, the involvement of Boyens and Jackson signal a strong creative foundation for the project. While details like release date and casting remain under wraps, anticipation's already building among fans eager to see how this new chapter expands the cinematic history of Middle-earth under Colbert's enthusiastic vision. Production on Reacher Season 4 has officially wrapped, setting the stage for another action-packed chapter of Amazon Prime's Video's hit thriller series. The fourth season, based on Lee Child's novel Gone Tomorrow, completed principal photography in late 2025, with filming finishing smoothly after months of intense scenes and fight choreography. Fans and insiders have confirmed the wrap, marking a major milestone as the series moves into post-production ahead of its anticipated late 2026 release. Star Alan Ritchson, who plays former military investigator Jack Reacher, shared updates via social media and interviews, expressing pride in what the cast and crew achieved this season. With principal photography concluded, the focus now turns to editing, visual effects, and sound work, crucial steps in shaping the final episodes before they hit screens. The schedule keeps Reacher on track to remain one of Prime Video's big thriller highlights next year. Season 4 continues to adapt Child's gripping source material, following Reacher as he navigates dangerous conspiracies and deadly enemies. With filming wrapped and production momentum building, excitement among fans is growing as the series heads into its most intense chapter yet. Chris Evans has seemingly confirmed that Steve Rogers will return in the upcoming Avengers Secret Wars, giving fans hope that the iconic hero is far from finished in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The announcement came in a brief audio clip shared on Instagram by user @ComicConMomsy, where Evans said, "I can't give secrets, I can't. What can I give you though? I start work on the next one in a couple of months. I can tell you that." While cryptic, the statement strongly hints that Captain America will survive the events of Avengers Doomsday and return for the next MCU milestone. The news arrives amid speculation about Steve Rogers' role in the evolving timeline. Fans were surprised by the Doomsday teaser, which shows Rogers riding a motorcycle while holding a baby, suggesting a personal stake in the story. However, Evans' comments leave room for multiple possibilities. Rogers could return as Nomad, his darker alter ego, or even as a Hydra variant, adding layers of intrigue to the franchise's next major crossover. This also indicates that production on Secret Wars will begin even before Doomsday completes post-production, reuniting the MCU ensemble early. With a massive cast, high stakes, and theories already running wild, Marvel is setting the stage for what could become the biggest superhero event in cinematic history, promising epic action, dramatic twists, and potentially game-changing revelations for the MCU timeline. Sadie Sink is quickly becoming one of the most talked-about new additions to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and recent reports suggest she may be locked in for multiple future appearances. Although details are still emerging, according to a new insider report, sources close to Marvel production indicate that Sink has signed a longer contract tied to several upcoming Marvel projects, fueling speculation about her long-term role in the franchise's evolving Phase 6 era. The Stranger Things alum is already confirmed to star in Spider-Man Brand New Day, scheduled for release on July 31st, 2026, alongside Tom Holland and Zendaya. While Marvel has not officially revealed her character, many believe she will continue into Avengers Secret Wars in 2027, a movie where her presence has been hinted at through production listings and casting confirmations. The idea behind Sink's multi-project deal would be to secure her availability for a series of interconnected films, potentially extending beyond just 2 titles, as Marvel strategically builds towards its next big crossover events. At this stage, Marvel has not publicly confirmed exactly how many films Sink is contracted for, and official character details remain under wraps. However, the movement toward locking her in for multiple projects strongly suggests that the studio sees her as an integral part of its next phase of storytelling. Universal Pictures is reuniting more of its original Mummy cast for the highly anticipated 4th installment in the franchise, confirming that actor John Hannah will reprise his beloved role as Jonathan Carnahan. Hannah, who first appeared in the original The Mummy in 1999 and continued through the early sequels, will return alongside Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz in The Mummy 4. This marks one of the biggest cast reunions for the series in nearly 2 decades. Jonathan Carnahan, a witty and opportunistic brother of Weiss's Evelyn Carnahan, was a key supporting character in the first films, often providing comic relief and helping drive the adventure forward. Fans have long hoped to see the original trio back together after years of speculation, and Universal's confirmation of Hannah's involvement has renewed excitement around the project. The news follows earlier announcements that Fraser and Weisz would both return, bringing back core elements of the franchise many viewers grew up with. The Mummy 4 is slated for a May 19, 2028 theatrical release, with directors Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillett at the helm, and a script by David Cogshaw. While plot details are being kept under wraps, the return of these familiar faces signal a strong blend of action, adventure, and nostalgia that longtime fans have been waiting for. Lionsgate has officially set the release date for The Housemaid 2: The Housemaid's Secret, confirming it will hit theaters on December 17, 2027. The sequel follows the massive success of 2025's The Housemaid, which earned nearly $400 million worldwide against a modest $35 million budget. Director Paul Feig returns to helm the film, with screenwriter Rebecca Sunshine adapting Frida McFadden's best-selling novel. Sydney Sweeney reprises her role as Millie, the live-in maid entangled in dangerous secrets, while Kirsten Dunst joins the cast alongside Michelle Morone, who also returns from the first movie. The plot picks up with Millie taking a mysterious job for a woman she is never allowed to see. As she navigates the household, she uncovers a dark secret behind a locked door, one that threatens to reveal truths even more sinister than her own. Feig and co-producers Todd Lieberman, Laura Fisher, and Sweeney aim to maintain the series' mix of suspense, horror, and twisted intrigue, continuing the franchise's R-rated tone. Lionsgate also hopes to expand the franchise further, with plans to adapt McFadden's third novel, The Housemaid is Watching, in coming years. The Housemaid's Secret will face stiff competition on release day, sharing the December 17th date with Marvel Avengers Secret Wars and Warner Bros. The Lord of the Rings The Hunt for Gollum. Despite the crowded slate, Lionsgate is confident that the sequel's thrilling, salacious storyline and returning cast will draw audiences, building on the original film's record-breaking holiday success and establishing Millie's story as a major cinematic franchise. Disney's upcoming animated film Frozen 3 is generating major excitement as co-directors Jennifer Lee and Trent Corey seemingly confirmed that Anna and Kristoff's long-anticipated wedding could be part of this story. During a behind-the-scenes Disney Plus Insider segment tied to the opening of the new World of Frozen attraction at Disneyland Paris, the filmmakers dropped hints that big wedding plans are underway for the beloved couple, fueling speculation that the ceremony will appear in the next installment. Anna and Kristoff have been fan favorites since their relationship blossomed in the first Frozen, with Kristoff famously proposing to Anna in Frozen 2. The possibility of their wedding has been a topic of discussion among fans and franchise watchers for years, and the recent playful comments from Lee and Corey, including references to planning its celebration during the Snowflower Festival, having only heightened anticipation while Disney itself has not yet released an official plot summary confirming the wedding scene. The director's remarks suggest it's likely to be a significant moment in the new movie. Frozen 3 is currently scheduled for release in November 2027, and as details emerge, fans are eagerly awaiting further confirmation that the royal celebration will be part of this next chapter in Arendelle's story. Netflix's One Piece live-action series has returned for its highly anticipated second season, and the producers have shared their ambitious hopes for the show's future. Marty Aldestein and Becky Clements for Tomorrow Studios revealed in an interview that they envision the series running for 12 seasons, citing the vast amount of source material available. While this is far from a formal confirmation, it highlights the creative team's long-term vision for adapting Eiichiro Oda's sprawling world. Showrunner Joe Trask has also addressed the 12-season plan, emphasizing that the team feels lucky to work on a series they genuinely care about. Trask joked about training the next generation of showrunners to continue the story, underscoring both the passion and realism behind the idea. He added that while they hope to tell all the arcs fans love, whether the show continues beyond the third season ultimately depends on viewer support and Netflix's commitment. The third season is already in production, though details about the potential fourth season remain unclear. Despite the uncertainty, the creative team remains enthusiastic, noting that series creator Eiichiro Oda has a clear vision for how the live-action adaptation could conclude. While reaching season 12 may be an optimistic goal, fans can look forward to more adventures as the Straw Hat Pirates continue their journey and Netflix gauges the show's long-term viability. Dwayne Johnson has officially confirmed that Jumanji 4 has wrapped production, bringing fans one step closer to the next chapter in the blockbuster franchise adventure. The highly anticipated sequel continues the modern reboot series that began with Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle and became a global hit. With filming now complete, the movie is moving into post-production, where visual effects and final edits will shape the film's larger-than-life adventure. The Jumanji franchise has proven to be a major success for Sony Pictures, with its previous installments combining action, comedy, and fantasy in a way that resonated with audiences worldwide. Dwayne Johnson is expected to return alongside familiar cast members, continuing the story of players trapped inside a dangerous game world. While plot details are still under wraps, fans can expect new challenges, bigger stakes, and fresh twists as the game evolves once again. With production now finished, excitement is building for an official trailer and release dates in the upcoming months. The Jumanji series has consistently delivered crowd-pleasing entertainment, and this fourth installment is expected to continue that trend. As anticipation grows, fans are eager to see how the story expands and whether it will be set up future installments in the franchise. Netflix has officially confirmed that Avatar: The Last Airbender Season 2 will premiere on June 25th, marking the highly anticipated return of the live-action adaptation. Following the success of the first season, which introduced audiences to Aang, Katara, and Sokka's journey, the new season is expected to dive deeper into the story as the group continues its mission to restore balance to the world. Season 2 will adapt major elements from the original animated series, including Aang's training in earthbending and the introduction of key new characters. Fans are especially excited about the arrival of Toph, one of the most beloved characters in the Avatar universe. With a darker tone and higher stakes, the new season is set to expand the world further, bringing more intense action, emotional depth, and character development to the forefront. With its release date now locked, Netflix has expected to ramp up marketing with trailers and first-look footage in the upcoming months. The success of Season 2 will be crucial in determining the long-term future of the series, as the platform continues to invest in big fantasy franchises. For fans, June 25th marks the next big step in Aang's journey and a chance to see how faithfully the story evolves in live-action form. Production on the upcoming Tomb Raider series has reportedly been paused after Sophie Turner suffered an onset injury. The actress, who is set to play Lara Croft in the highly anticipated live-action adaptation, was injured during filming, forcing the production team to temporarily halt work. While the exact details of the incident have not been fully disclosed, sources suggest that the injury is not life-threatening and Turner is expected to recover. The Tomb Raider series has been one of the most talked about projects in development, with fans eager to see Sophie Turner take on the iconic role. Known for her performance in Game of Thrones, Turner's casting generated strong buzz, and the show aims to deliver a fresh modern take on Lara Croft's adventures. With high expectations surrounding the project, any delay could impact its production schedule and potential release timeline. For now, the focus remains on Turner's recovery, with producers prioritizing her health before resuming filming. Once production restarts, the series is expected to continue with its original version, bringing action, exploration, and survival elements to the screen. Fans will be watching closely for updates, as the delay adds another layer of anticipation to one of the most awaited gaming adaptations in development. Well, that's all for today's biggest entertainment updates, from Marvel surprises to blockbuster delays. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. See you in the next one.